I'm tired of people pretending that self-image is just something that you work on in therapy and not something that the way that you talk to yourself day to day has an effect on. So I'm going to rank behaviors based on how bad they are for how you see yourself. I paint my nails this nice little white shiny color for Winter Carnival up in Houghton next week. And I just dyed my dirt stash, so the dye hasn't fully come off my face, so you're going to have to deal with that. Now the first one, and this one is a fucking stinker, and B, one that I hear all the time, is self-deprecation. And a lot of people have a habit of doing this, and I understand why. You do something that you think is silly, and you're like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. Or you drop something, you're like, oh fuck, I'm such an idiot. But I'm the type of person that believes that even in a joke, there's always a kernel of truth to what you're saying. There's a part of you that believes some part of it, and even if it doesn't believe it, it's internalizing the fact that you're repeating this out loud to yourself. And outside of what it does to yourself and your own belief, like I replace this, I'm going to be so honest, with complete self-aggrandizing. Like, instead of dropping something and going, oh, I'm so stupid, I'll say, have I mentioned that I'm, like, the most elegant person in the fucking world here? Like, I don't know, or, I don't know a basic fact. This is why I'm a college graduate. And, both of them are, aiming towards the same thing, some kind of joking jab at whatever just happened, but one of them has a distinctly different message to what's going on inside. And not to mention the fact that outside of how you feel about yourself, have you ever been around the kind of person that makes these jokes all the time? I'm sorry, because I have friends who do this and have done this, and I'm gonna be so honest, usually I just say, I don't want to hear someone say that about my friend when I hear somebody say something like that. But it can be so fucking uncomfortable. Like, the kind of person who's always saying, oh, I'm so ugly, oh, I just can't do anything right, oh, nobody loves me. And it's clear that they're looking for someone to tell them the opposite. And it's like, it sucks, because I do genuinely want you to believe that about yourself, but I am not going to be the person that A, is going to do that for you, or B, can make you believe it. I'm going to put self-deprecation in S tier, because it's just fucking everywhere, it's annoying, and it hurts the way that you feel about yourself. Second one, I don't have as much to say about, because I feel like it's pretty well known. And, I don't have a ton of advice on how to fix it, because it's really just a habit of discipline and, unfortunately, being in the right place to do it. But keeping a messy space, my room is busy, but I really try to avoid it being messy, because my brain feels gross, and I feel gross when I don't have a clean space and don't have a good, solid, peaceful place to return to. This is what peaceful looks like to me, funny enough. That one I'm going to put in, B tier, because, it's not the worst, and it's especially hard when you already have, poor self-image, but I feel like it's kind of neglected when it comes to discussion of self-image. Your space is a reflection of you. The third one is going to be judging people for things that you also do, or things that you would like to do but are ashamed of. And this mostly applies to, things that aren't necessarily harmful, but you just kind of have a judgment for. I know that I've talked before about the fact that I have an unfortunate habit of judging other feminine men. And it's something that I'm working on, and something that I'm not necessarily proud of. But I notice a lot of people do this. They'll cast someone down, and especially for things that they're repressing. I notice a lot of people will talk a lot about something or do something a lot as a joke, but when they see someone doing it earnestly, or quite frankly without the cowardice that it takes to hide behind judgment, they have a lot to say about it. And not everyone needs to be your thing, and there is a difference between certain people doing something and other people doing it, but let's not pretend that it's something that makes you better than that person. It's just a matter of different personality types. In general, being kinder and more forgiving to other people will make you kinder towards yourself. So, A tier, mostly because it annoys me. The next one is going to be kind of like hyperpositivity, or not really allowing yourself to complain. Uh, a decent part of my family is kind of the suck it up variety when it comes to pain or difficult circumstances. And don't get me wrong, I do think that there comes a point of complaining where you are actively making your problem worse because you're only looking at the negatives and only accepting the negatives. But I do also think that you just need to acknowledge that things suck sometimes. And if you don't let yourself acknowledge that things suck sometimes, then you're just going to keep beating yourself up for not being able to handle them better. And it's like, however you're handling them is probably the best that you can. Being generous with yourself, as you probably should most of the time. So it's just, you're being mean to yourself for shit that's out of your control. I'm going to put that one at a C tier because it's kind of hard to balance. It's important, though, to let yourself complain at least a little bit. Kind of on the opposite side of that is the kind of person that rejects like every single positive of a scenario that you could possibly give them. You've met this person as well, and again, it hurts yourself more than anything else when somebody offers you, or even your own mind offers you, you could look at this perspective, or you could see this good thing, or you could at least understand that you got this lesson out of this circumstance that kind of objectively sucks, and you're just rejecting either the advice of others or the part of your own brain that wants to see the best side of things. You're just never going to be happy where you're at. There could always be something that's better, certainly, but if you are always thinking about that thing that could be better, you're going to keep reaching, and you're never going to be happy with what you got. I don't know what to say. One of the happiest old people that I have ever met told me that the key to life is gratitude, and I have not forgotten that. So we're going to put that at, I think that's an S tier. The next one's going to be fake scenarios, like the shit that you do in your head where either somebody rejects you or says something mean about you or just gives you some reason to be upset. My boyfriend actually pointed this out to me recently, that like we were having a conversation about this, and he was like, yeah, when I notice my brain doing that, I just shut it down, like I stop it. And I realized I don't do that. And it's kind of made an immense difference since I have started. Like, it's okay to daydream a little bit and to get out of there, but like, especially if it's something negative, and if you envisioning someone saying something negative about you, not only are you subconsciously saying that to yourself about yourself, but you're also projecting that on that person in a way that might not be fair, and in a way that might cut you off from good people. I'm gonna put that one at like an A tier because it took me a really fucking long time to notice it. I needed someone else to point it out to me, and I think that it actually has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself and new people. The next one is about as literal as we can possibly get on the whole self-image thing, and it's hyper-analyzing the way that you look in photos and videos, and I'm doing my absolute best not to do that with this video right now as I'm recording it because it's really fucking hard. But cameras are one way of viewing things. They are not objectively correct. They don't always understand lighting and shit. And most importantly, a camera is not actually an eyeball, and it is certainly not the eyeball of somebody who loves you. And as you're looking at yourself through this thing that cannot objectively be correct, and there is no objective correct because everybody sees things differently, it's just so easy to pick apart parts of yourself that somebody else might never or even might love about you. And look at it once, maybe twice. Look at it again if it makes you happy, but just don't ruminate on it. And if you can't appreciate your own reflection, I have a rule for myself. If I don't feel good about the way that I look on a certain day, I am not appreciating myself in the way that somebody who loves me would. And I am not going to do myself the disservice of continuing to look in the mirror and chastise myself. Everybody's self-image comes and goes, your confidence comes and goes. So if it's on a day that it goes, don't let it run away from you. I had to give that one a tier. My bad. I think I'm going to put it in B. This last one, anybody who is raised with some semblance of Christian or Catholic guilt recognizes the tendency to moralize everything. Every decision you make, everything that you do in the day, every person that you meet, greet, everything that you eat. Dr. fucking Seuss. has some moral value. And I don't know, maybe this is fucking stupid and says something about it's not stupid. It's just the way that I process things. Everybody fucking knows it. But you know, there's this car seat headrest lyric that's like, there's no angel on one shoulder and devil on the other. They're just two normal people. And truthfully, you can't, and I would not recommend that anybody go through life without moral self-reflection. But there are some things that just don't need to mean as much as you think that they do. That you tell yourself that they do. Let go of the urge to tell yourself that you're bad because of this or good because of that. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn what you don't want to do. And every good feeling is an indicator that you're following the person that you want to be. So take a breath. Let it go. You're just a person. You're an animal at the end of the day. That one I would definitely consider S tier because it's something that I still struggle with every day and have to remind myself of every day, and I don't really know anybody who doesn't. You know, your internal bullshit makeup is going to be largely defined by how you treat yourself day to day. The maintenance that you're performing, the shit that you're doing to try and lead your brain in positive directions when it comes to thinking about yourself. And again, being kinder to yourself will allow you to be kinder to other people. I'm not going to pretend that I am the nicest person out there or the least judgmental, but I certainly fucking try to be more of those things every day because it doesn't just benefit me, it benefits people that I care about. And that's fucking important. It's good shit. Anyway, first actual scripted video will come out hopefully within the next month, and it expands a lot on some of these ideas. So if these interest you, keep your eye out.